and then they've tried to smear us as racist or extremists for wanting protection of our women.
Now, this is the revolt. This is the peasants revolting.
He needs to stop branding hard-working Brits as for far right. We just want to be heard, and he's ignoring us.
At the end of the day, do you think a civil war is inevitable here?
Yeah, it's been going on for years. I don't recognise my country no more. Keir Starmer is like an actual traitor.
What's up, guys? I have been seeing clips of this video all over the place. It is Nick Shirley covering the protest in London to get rid of Keir Starmer, get rid of all the unchecked migration, and just basically restore Britain back to a Western country instead of importing endless Islamists from different countries in the third world without any real checks or balances. So the stuff leading up to this is crazy. I mean, Keir Starmer started halting press and speakers for the rally from being able to go to it. He made multiple public threats, even though, you know, they have plenty of other big protests in England, but this one he came out and made multiple threats that he would arrest people and do all of this if anyone got out of line. The news runs all these reports saying that 50,000 attended, but in the videos, I mean, the streets are packed all through downtown London. I mean, it looks like well into the hundreds of thousands of people to me. So very weird what happened here. I'm interested to see Nick Shirley's coverage of it and what he saw on the ground. So let's take a look.
Today we're here in the streets of London. We had the Big Ben right behind us here today, and today it's set to be one of the biggest marches in the history of the United Kingdom. Hundreds of thousands of people are set to come in from all across the United Kingdom to come into the streets of London today. Right now, over 4,000 police officers have been deployed into London, and they're using new facial recognition cameras to track who comes in and out of the protest. That is something that has never happened before, and at all of the major stations like King's Cross, they have new cameras that have facial recognition, and they're tracking quite literally everyone that...
Man, isn't it nuts how London has gone full on 1984 Orwellian? Orwell was from there too. Hey.
Comes into this protest, and they have even banned journalists from entering into the United Kingdom to cover this event. Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, has been outspoken against those that are attending this march, saying that this march is led by convicted thugs and people that are spreading division and hate here inside the United Kingdom. He called it racist, actually.
Tomorrow's march in London is a reminder of what we're up against in the battle of our values. The organisers, including convicted thugs and racists, are peddling hatred and division. Plain and simple.
So today we're going to be speaking with everyone here in the streets of London to see what's going on and what they have to say about what they are fighting for, as this is called the Unite the West march here in the streets of London. How do you guys feel about what your Prime Minister said about those that attend this march today?
He's a disgrace. He's an absolute disgrace.
It is.
So he is. I'm not far right. Don't have a criminal record. I'm a pensioner. I fear for my grandchildren.
And there's this whole big ideology on the left right now where basically if you aren't super far like communist dictator level left, then somehow you're a far right fascist. Like they've just completely disintegrated the moderate position or the populist position. They don't even acknowledge it exists, when in reality, the majority of people have more populist opinions on things and more moderate opinions on things. It's crazy. Most of the world, you know, isn't far right or far left, but they're really trying to push everybody down this like far alt left pipeline of globalism, communism, one world government. You'll own nothing and enjoy it. It's pretty crazy. And the surveillance and digital ID and all of that getting wrapped in, it's...
And what do you fear for your grandchildren?
Because of all the illegal immigrants that's coming here, and they're getting everything going. I have two sons, can't even get on the property market.
And why do you think Keir Starmer would call people like you racist for attending this march?
Because he's frightened. He's frightened. He's on his way out anyway, and the sooner the better.
Your message to Keir Starmer?
Resign,
like
for
Granny.
the country's good, you tyrant.
He's calling you guys racist for being out here today.
And he's full of shit, as we all know.
Now we've made it here to the start of the march. You can hear the chants already. Everyone's yelling, Keir Starmer is a wanker. Look at this, thousands of people in the streets right now, all chanting Keir Starmer is a wanker. We have Keir Starmer on top of a right now. How you doing? How are you doing? Keir Starmer on top of a...
Don't forget, guys, if you're liking the video, you can hype 3 small creators, 3 videos per week. Hype this video. Appreciate it. Love y'all.
Do you feel like this is the Great Britain you grew up in?
No. Do you think it's a great
Greatest threat to Britain since 1940. Woo!
Britain we grew up? No.
See, and also, you notice how many, like, British flags, and I think the other one's called a King George flags, there are versus... You know, when the other side protests, it's all other countries, typically not allied countries, countries that, you know, on opposite sides of conflicts of. It's kind of crazy.
Not so great now. It's an embarrassment to the world what this government's doing.
What do you guys think about Keir Starmer blocking journalists from coming into the United Kingdom?
It's disgusting, isn't it? Yeah, it's only for one thing, because they say things you don't like. You say things Keir Starmer don't like, he likes to block you. I'm surprised you managed to sneak through, to be fair, mate. I've just been watching you in Cuba.
I kind of am too.
I'm surprised as well that they let me in.
I don't know, you managed to sneak
through. And how
through.
come you think here they're attacking freedom of speech?
Well, I know why. It's because they've got their own narrative, haven't they? I mean, I don't go all into it, but it all stems from after the war, they started implementing all these systems of anti-racism, and it just come to a point now where white...
He gets it, man. He's breaking it down.
White man's not listened to. It's not about black or white, but native people are just not listened to in the country anymore. And it's just, put it this way, there's a Sikh guy stabbed a white kid the other day, and the police arrested the white kid because the Sikh guy said he said something racist. They handcuffed him, he sat on the floor, bled out and died.
What?
A couple of days ago. Somebody Novak, his name is, young college kid, look it up.
That's insane. I'm going to have to look that up. I thought you weren't allowed to have, like, big knives and stuff in England anymore.
Mate. And what brings you guys out here today?
Wow, you know what it's like, mate. It's tyranny in this country, absolute diabolical. They're against us English.
Future, my friend. You can't keep pouring one country into this one, expecting it's going to turn out. They've got different cultures, different ideologies, and different ways of living. We want to keep our culture. I've got a granddaughter. When in 30 years' time, when she grows up, I want her to recognise the England I was born in. And if we keep pouring into this country, there's going to be nothing left.
In what ways is the England that you grew up in different than the England that your grandchildren are growing up in?
Because we keep pouring in these different cultures, these different religions into this country. And we've seen how the Islam goes. You spread Islam across the world, you spread Islam across Europe. It destroys everything on its path, on its way. I've got nothing against.
Why can't I get any of these base British people in my comments?
Refugees coming in, as long as they're vetted. And we understand who they are and what they are. Come and respect our culture. Come and respect our people.
I get all the globalist Brits in my comments.
And Keir Starmer has called the organizers of the event thugs and racist, and has said that you guys are pushing division and hate here inside the country.
Keir Starmer shouldn't even be there. He's hanging on by a thread, and he knows he is. It's his last chance for a bit.
He stepped down
his
now,
last chance to stand against us people. He's been calling us far right fascists and Nazis. Can you see any far right fascists and Nazis around here? I see grandparents. I see parents.
You'll see a lot more swastikas and stuff at a left-wing rally than you generally do at any moderate or even right-wing rally. Isn't that kind of interesting?
I see soldiers, I see everyone out. It's my grandson. We're not far right, we're not fascists, we're not Nazis, we're just people who want a future for this country, and that's all we're after.
And do you think you'll ever get to the point here where people have to actually defend the country and bear up arms?
Yeah, because nobody's listening to anybody. They're just doing what they want to do. They're not asking us what we want.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm all right. I'm here for the love of Christ.
The march has officially begun. Tommy is right behind us now, leading the march. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people are out here in the streets of London. Here we go.
Oh, let me pray for you quickly. Heavenly Father, thank you for this man. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for blessing him and keeping him and continue to bless him and cover him in all ways. In Jesus' precious name, amen.
Amen. There we go. People in the streets of Britain praying for me.
Oh my God!
It's crazy that Nick's like a celebrity now, man, because I've been watching him since his channel was pretty small. Long before I started doing content again. It's just wild. I mean, he was still popular back then, you know, but he would get like hundreds of thousands of views, not the millions of views he gets now and not recognized in the random streets in England.
Your photo.
The people of London.
Look at him. He's getting hugs and selfies with everybody.
Ma'am, they are calling people like you a racist for being out here today.
I was an NHS worker. I worked for the NHS. I was a medical emergency nursing assistant. I lost my job for showing a post from the government website how much asylum seekers get when they come to the UK.
See, like, I talked to some of the commenters and stuff from Britain, and they always tell me, like, no, we got free speech here. There's nothing going on, anything like that. And then you hear this. This is a nurse that got fired from government healthcare for posting about how much money migrants are getting given by the government, where her tax dollars go, and also the same tax dollars that pay her salary since they have government-run healthcare. Seems like something that would be fair to talk about, no?
I was sacked for gross misconduct straight away. Never had a complaint about me ever in my life. So I'm here to support my nurses.
So you've been attacked by
the government. You guys know more about that story, drop in the comments.
Yes, I was a NHS nursing assistant. I was a medical emergency, and I lost my job through freedom to speak, and I'm going to be here. I want to show freedom to speak in the UK, and we're going to show it today.
So you have the march coming from right here, and then you have a whole nother group of people, a whole nother sea of people meeting up right here. Very well, could be 1 million plus people here in the streets of London today. You have the police on the outskirts of the march, and check this out. They have these cameras right here surveilling each and every single one of the protesters.
Man, I didn't realize how much of a surveillance state that London's become. Look at that. Not only are they walking around with the cameras, but you got cameras like everywhere on the buildings and stuff.
And then they have the body cameras as well. They have those cameras right there for any evidence, for any footage that they may need. Mass surveillance here in the streets of the United Kingdom.
This part of London looks super dope to walk down, though, doesn't it? Like, look at the beautiful architecture and stuff, and look at all the British flags. It's nice to see, man. Oh, they got "Make Britain Great Again" hats. Did you see that? Make Britain great again.
Your sign says
Nick Shirley!
Dude, everybody knows him.
Hello, Nick Shirley.
Nice to meet you.
So wild.
Your sign says we did not vote for open borders.
I never want to be that famous. I do not want to go to a random protest and have people know me. No thank you.
Digital ID, higher taxes, two-tier policing, loss of free speech, pedophiles in politics, higher cost of living, Starmer out, restore Britain.
Yeah.
What's your message to Keir Starmer today?
Keir Starmer's a wanker. Everything in the mandate is backtracked on. He's added things in that wasn't mandated, like digital ID. It doesn't listen to the British public. He's just had a landslide vote, and he still is ignorant.
He needs to go.
He needs to stop branding hard-working Brits as far right. We just want to be heard, and he's ignoring us.
How do you feel about the mass surveillance here of your government?
I feel like if you can do that to your own people, why can't you monitor more closely the people you're letting in who are abusing our women and children?
Damn, she kind of based. I'm not gonna lie. That's a solid point. If you can do all this facial recognition and everything to catch all these far-right activists, then why can't you do that for the migrants coming in and committing crimes at heinous rates?
Who are taking taxpayers' money, who are living better lives than the people who are working really hard in this country, who live here, who are proud of where we are. We don't oppose immigration. We just don't want to have them prioritised above us. We're losing our culture and identity. It's not fair.
You know what's interesting is, like, Nick Shirley and a lot of other people I've watched, including small, like, local guys and stuff, like Cam Higbee, I watched when he was small and local because he was up in Seattle, and David Medina down here, who's now running for the governor of Oregon and everything. And all of these guys, you know, they would do live streams and stuff and try and talk, especially at like the, you know, BLM protests here in Portland and in Seattle, and the Antifa protest and anti-ICE protests and everything else. And most of those people cannot speak to any of the issues. Like, they don't know any of the data. They don't know really what they're protesting against. They just know a long slew of buzzwords like, you know, why are you out here today? Oh, because Trump's a Nazi and he's putting immigrants in concentration camps and he's the new Hitler and, you know, he raped a bunch of women and blah, blah, blah. And that's all they can recite. And now the protesters and stuff are being instructed by their, you know, paid organizers to not even talk to any of them. And they even have people whose job it is at the protest who call out the media personnel and like hold arrows above their head and stuff so that people don't talk to them. And they'll put, you know, a big sign that says like far right grifter or something above them when like they're literally just letting you speak. They're giving you an open mic to a big audience. You know, Nick gets millions and millions of views now. So you have a mic to a big audience. If you can articulate your opinion, it's not like he's going to cut it. He shows most of his interviews and he's got, on a lot of his videos, he's got like second channels, third channels and stuff where he'll put out all the raw footage and stuff. So it's just kind of crazy to me because, you know, he's interviewing people here and they're so articulate and can speak to the issue so well. But yet when he does the protest on the other side, they can't speak to anything. And now we're being barred from even talking to him. There's nobody here saying, oh, don't talk to Nick Shirley. You're going to make the movement look bad. You know, says a lot, I feel like.
And why do you think Keir Starmer and your politicians are calling people out here racist, saying this is pushing division here inside the United Kingdom?
I wish I knew the answer to that question, but I really don't. I ask myself this all the time. All I know is he's not serving the British public, and these numbers prove it.
The march continues to get bigger and bigger. Right now we're in Trafalgar Square. It's completely filled, and all the way down to Parliament Square is completely filled as well. We're going to go interview Tommy in just a moment, but I want to tell you guys about the sponsor of this video, and that is Opus Clip. What used to just be an AI clipper has now become the most powerful AI growth tool for creators. And me, for instance, I've used Opus on my own and I've received over 50 million views on a single Facebook page.
Yeah, I've used Opus Clip before. It's good.
Opus, and then it'll go
sign up for Opus Clip with Nick Shirley's link.
TikTok,
I don't have anything
Facebook,
with them, so.
Out their new AI editor 3.0 that comes with smarter auto framing, simple to post your videos and get your content to go quite literally everywhere. And right now, if you guys watching this video, they're going to hook you guys up with 4 months at 50% off. All I have to do is go to the link
click the link in Nick's original video to be linked in mine.
4 months at 50%. Tommy, you've done it again.
We've done it.
There's the man.
We're leading a revolution in Britain.
Supposedly this man is a far-right racist Nazi from what I've been told in some of my comments.
Right.
Don't know a lot about him, to be
revolution
honest.
through the election ballot box with Donald Trump. We're having ours right now on the street.
The entire streets of Whitehall all the way to Trafalgar are full of people. And what does this say about the current state of the United Kingdom? What do the British people want?
It says that the public are ready. We're ready, right? We've been asleep for too long.
Ready for what?
We're ready to fight for our country, right? We're ready. And what you're witnessing now is a formation and an organisation. We're going to spread this through every town and city, and we're getting ready for the Battle of Britain in 2029. Our next election is the most important election in this country's history, because the enemy are no longer invading on the borders where they are, but the enemy's here.
We would have been at this exact same point in the US had we gone Kamala, I'm just saying.
They're here, and they're betraying us.
Why has your government betrayed the people of Great Britain?
They've tried to replace us, just like they did in Minnesota. Why do you think Somalia is the hottest place in the world, yeah? They're living in Minnesota. They didn't choose there. They were put there. They were put there. Just think what they've done there, and think of what you exposed, and think that they all knew it was happening, but they turned a blind eye. Well, they turned a blind eye to them raping their way through our country, because they're importing voters. They're replacing us. They have 6, 7 kids. We don't. They're bringing people in to replace us that are loyal to them, that want to be dependent on the state. Well, we don't. The far left have had their revolution, yeah? They've had it. Open borders, breakdown of the family, attacking nationalism, patriotism. They've had it.
God, I never thought about it that way, but that's true, man. The far left has had their, that's a crazy screenshot to stop at, but the far left has had their revolution, and we've seen how that went. And so, you know, the right's got to have its revolution now to balance those scales. Honestly, that's what I'm a little concerned about. I'm a little concerned about us swinging too far back right, but we need to swing right from where we are. That's for darn sure.
successful revolution. You're witnessing today the counter-revolution.
The counter-revolution, civil war come 2029 if nothing happens.
We need to win at the ballot box in 2029. Now, to do that, you have to get the 50% of non-voters. You need to captivate them, electrify them, and give them back that sense of identity and belief that they matter. Today, everyone here knows they matter.
And your message to the rest of the West, for those that aren't here, that don't see what's happening every day here in Britain, what would you say the reality of life is?
The reality of life is women are scared, they can't walk the streets, our daughters are being raped, they've took the safety of our nation. They've imported hostile, violent men into our communities, and then they've tried to smear us as racists or extremists for wanting protection of our women. And to the rest of the West, unite the kingdom, look at that, read that on that side. It says unite the kingdom, unite the West, because this is a Western civilizational problem. They're attacking us.
Starmer saying everyone out here is racist today.
I mean, so far, bro, spitting facts. I don't know. Nothing there sounds racist to me. It just sounds like the reality of what's been happening. Even the government in the United States, at least, has now acknowledged that Great Replacement wasn't some conspiracy theory. It was a organized plan from the UN in order to replace native populations of Western countries with migrants from third world countries to lead towards a global order and a visualization of world peace, where we take all the poor people and put them in the rich countries, and then magically the soil in America and the UK somehow makes them just amazing, smarter, more intelligent, developed people, and they become rocket scientists instead of farming cabbages or something for their whole life. Unfortunately, that's just not the way things work. The grounds of America are not magic soil. The grounds of Britain and Europe are not magic soil. What makes a person good or bad is the content of their character. You definitely can take a good person from a bad area and improve their life. But if you take a bad person from a bad area and put them into a good area, they're not going to magically be good. And I'm not sure how so many people got bought into that idea. You know, it's always been a psychological debate of nurture versus nature, but I think everyone acknowledges this. It's not devoid of either side. It's a combination of both.
Yeah, no one cares what they say, right? Look around you. Look at the diversity. This is a lovely crowd, man.
You guys are out here. You're raising up the cross.
Yes.
Starmer's calling people like you guys far right.
Oh, fuck Starmer. He needs to go. There's something dodgy about him.
What's dodgy about Starmer?
Everything. I mean, like, he's a globalist.
And what's the Britain you hope for your children, your two daughters right here?
At this moment in time, the whole country's in dire straits. The government are not putting the British people first. There's no housing. There's no doctor's appointments. There's nothing like that. Yeah. Keir Starmer, I mean, if we were far right, how many people can you spot of all different nationalities here? We've got Iranians, we've got black people, Asian people. Get to fuck, will you, Starmer? Just resign.
Just resign.
Dude, another base British woman. I love this, man. Golly. You know, I watch so many of the left protests and they can't actually state anything. They just state about a bunch of derogatory terms over and over. And she breaks down the whole problem and then F Starmer.
Resign!
At least we know why she has the opinion.
Christ is king. I would like to claim refuge in Poland if possible.
Should the rest of Europe be more like Poland?
I think so, yes. Yes, absolutely.
And with the grooming gangs that took place here inside...
You've got the grooming... I've got two daughters at the end of the day. Even when I was a child, my younger sister, it happened with these Afghanis. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're having people coming from all different corners of the world that are not brought up with the same morals and same values, there is going to be a clash of cultures. And this is what Starmer isn't listening to. He doesn't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
No.
We're just meant to, like, pipe down, shut up, and just get on with it. No, we're sick of it. Like, this is the revolt. This is the peasants revolting.
And we want to keep our next generation safe for our little girls and our children. We want them to grow up in the country that we grew up in. And at times, diversity is not our strength. Unity is our strength, and that's why we're here today, to unify and say that we're not having it anymore.
Starmer is saying that your diversity is your strength. You would say it's not.
No.
Does it? You go to the other march. That's the diversity side of it. This is unity. This is British people coming together to say we love our country and we want to keep it our country. We don't need all these open borders because it's not It's not the best thing for us.
Right here it says the rape of Britain. Would you say Britain has been raped?
I'd say 100% it's right.
In what way?
It's crazy too, because it's like, it's not even an immigration issue. It's a mass migration issue. You know, the left has done this whole like gaslighting of making anyone who questions mass migration seem to be against immigration. Like, we're all immigrants. There's nothing wrong with immigration, but there is something wrong with tearing down any construct of law and border between countries to where people can just flow freely, because the obvious thing happens, right? If you have one country that offers a lot of prosperity and services, everyone is going to flood there. And then that's going to leave a bunch of other areas to be even worse off, and so on and so forth. You have this big movement of people where they just end up cannibalizing all of the resources in different countries until the whole thing is devolved into chaos, which, you know, what'll stop that? Well, their big one world globalist government. And that's, you know, that's the whole idea. Get us all meshed together, then let everything fall apart, and then the big globalist regime comes in to run the world, tell people how to do this or that, and offer their rations and basically roll in communism. It's crazy we've let it get this far.
This isn't a flag, it's a true story. We've had it under the Conservatives and now Keir Starmer. It's ridiculous what this man's doing.
In what ways has Great Britain been raped?
Get him out.
Well, look at
The young girls are being raped on the streets. Throughout the country, it's covered up by Sadiq Khan.
Enough's enough.
Through the government, complete cover-up.
What's your guys' message to Keir Starmer? Wanker.
Keir Starmer's a fucking wanker.
Let's hear it.
Starmer's a wanker. Keir Starmer's a wanker. Keir Starmer's a wanker.
And why do you think Keir Starmer is such a wanker?
The way he's absolutely destroying our fucking country.
What's been your least favorite thing?
The peace symbol must mean something different over there than it meant here. Oh, this guy's, he looks like a character.
What's happened over the past 10 years here in the United Kingdom?
I've seen my country change in 50.
Dude, this would trip me out if I go to Britain, because in America, a guy that looks like that ain't gonna talk that eloquently. He just comes out with this like proper English, and he looks like some kind of like crazy death metal headbanger.
I don't recognise my country no more. But not only that is, I'm seeing how things went in a different country in the 30s, and it's happening here. And pardon my French, to piss on the veterans the way they have and persecuting them.
What do you think you're...
I'm not laughing at what he's saying. I'm just laughing at like the mismatch of the look and the articulation of the voice. Like, this dude sounds like he like narrates for BBC documentaries or something.
Forefathers would say about the current status of Great Britain right now?
Turn them over in the graves. Literally turn them over in the graves. Because my grandparents fought for this country. My cousins, my relatives, my uncles, my aunts, friends have died for this country. For what? For what? For these rich arseholes over there.
And that's why the military was down so much in the U.S., military enrollment numbers during Biden.
In Parliament. And do you think those that are in Parliament, do you think they represent
They
the
are
people?
the most hated Egypts this country's ever seen.
And why do you think they continue to get elected?
Because I think they like it. I think they want the division. Look at this. Every race, creed, colour, sexuality, people from all over the world. Look at all the different flags. This is united. This is love. This is everyone, brothers and sisters in arms, for one cause. Freedom. Freedom from that tyrannical bunch of bastards over there.
Dude, this guy needs his own podcast or something, man.
That's what it's
so
about.
base.
People have died for this country. They've bled. They've blood soaked.
Getting me fired up, man.
Every part of this country, it's blood soaked. Of men and women and children of this country that have fought for thousands of years. For what? For them bastards. F*** them.
At the end of the day, do you think a civil war is inevitable here?
Yeah, it's been going on for years. I don't recognise my country no more.
So what will a civil war look like here if you guys do not have...
Like any war,
give me a George
death,
flag, man. I'm about to hang
no
it.
one wins. No one wins in war. My friend died fighting for this country. For what? To be pissed on by Keir Starmer and his lot. We're going to take you all to court for war crimes. No.
I don't know if any of y'all are with me. The voice is just killing me because he does not match it so much. He sounds so like this dude's such a motivational speaker, but he's just, his look is so wild.
No one wins in war, I'm afraid.
What would be your message to the rest of the world that doesn't live here inside of Great Britain? They don't understand what's going on.
Open your eyes, see what's going on, because if it's happening here, it's going to happen everywhere. Look at Ireland. God bless the Irish. Keir Miller Faulty.
Right here you have a man yelling at the police officers.
I know that you're just doing a job, and I know that you guys lean one way or the other, but there's going to come a time when you guys need to choose a side, and that guy that lives at number 10 is a traitor, and he should be tried as such. Keir Starmer is like an actual traitor. I believe that he is committing treason.
So you notice everybody too, nobody's calling for the deaths, nobody's trying to shoot the politicians. They're all calling for justice. You know, he should be tried as a traitor, using the law and the judicial system, not just slaughtered as the left loves to do with the people on the right, as they've tried to shoot Trump 3 times now. And, you know, Charlie Kirk and dozens of other conservatives. I mean, Nick Fuentes just had people showing up to his house again with guns. Tim Pool's been shot at his house. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. Yet nobody from the other side seems to do much of that stuff. I mean, it happens occasionally, but not on like a weekly basis like the other side. And then you look at the rhetoric and you understand why. I mean, Trump, you know, gets shot at last month or whenever that was, and all these people on social media on the left are, oh, how did they miss again? Like, can somebody teach these guys how to shoot? And then here you got the angriest guys are yelling for trials for treason, not to pick up arms and go do political violence. So I don't know. When people try and say that stuff is a both sides issue, I have a hard time. I think there is issues on both sides, but there's definitely over the last decade, there's been one side that's been a lot more apt and prone to the promotion of political violence.
Treason against the British people. I actually believe that, you know, we should drag him out of number 10 and we should put him on trial for treason, because what he's done to the British people is it can only be defined as treason. He's opened the borders, he's made a career out of protecting people. He's made a career out of dissolving our borders.
You're a black man here at this event. They're saying this is a racist event. What's your message to them?
No, it's not.
Your sign right here says British Christians awake.
Yes, we're sleeping. We've had our language has been numbed by thought processes to self-censor ourselves, and now we've become so liberal we don't know what truth is, and now we've got to wake up to how far we've slipped.
See what I mean, dude? These guys are just articulating the whole breakdown like so well, just random protesters. Exactly, like listen to what this dude says.
Well, my thought process is to self-censor ourselves, and now we've become so liberal we don't know what truth is, and now we've got to wake up to how far we've slipped. Our children are now being aborted one day before birth, and we've now made this massive imbalance, and into that imbalance we put Islam, and it's been done by the left to destroy Christianity. That's the reason. We're in a hell of a mess. Hell of a mess.
Here in the United Kingdom, you can have an abortion up to the day of?
The day before birth. We've now voted for abortion one day before birth.
Then you go to an Antifa protest down at the ICE facility, and it'll just be like, why don't you like ICE? Because they're Nazi Gestapo, duh. You don't think it's wrong that they beat Hispanics to death and throw them in internment camps? It's like, yeah, none of that's really going on. I mean, this guy's talking about how the psychology of the country shifted to a more self-censorship, leftist ideology, And because of that self-censorship, we let a lot of stuff go and be permissible that isn't actually right and agreeable to most of the citizens, including then lists off multiple examples. I mean, it's just, it's a crazy juxtaposition, because I don't watch many of the right protest coverage. I usually only watch the left ones, because, you know, I'm seeking to understand what the other side thinks, and they very rarely can articulate their positions like this.
There's one case where a little baby girl, a girl, 15 years of age, she got hold of the mifepristone tablet. She aborted.
I love what you do, mate. Keep up the good work, brother. Absolutely love you. All right.
Thank you.
She aborted the baby. They cut the baby's head off, arms off, legs off, put it in the food blender, hit Frappe. The police did nothing.
So here in the UK, apparently this man, you can have an abortion up to the day of birth. Crazy.
Is that real? Can you do that in Britain? Oy.
Said, oi, Trump, come and save f***ing England, son.
Now everyone is gathered here at the stage.
People calling for Trump in Europe to come over there and help them.
I've been invited to give a speech, so I'm going to go on just a second. We have hundreds of thousands of people right there. We got these.
Yeah, I mean, I've been meaning to make a video that I think the left just doesn't understand how badly they have lost this war. Just from the left geared algorithms I have seem to think that it's still like the majority of people in the country and in other countries that dislike Trump, and it's just, it doesn't seem to match up with reality, in my opinion, especially in the United States. I mean, whether you go to polling, whether you go to voting, whether you go to, you know, bills and stuff and Trump endorsements and everything else. Like, if you want to say all the polls are BS and they're all made up and everything, then, well, how come everyone Trump endorses wins? How come everything that Trump ask the people to vote on, they vote on? You know what I mean? It's like, he's obviously got these high approval ratings, but on the left, they still think he's got like a 10% approval rating or something. Nobody actually supports him. MAG is all distraught at his failures. It's like, I don't think y'all have a clear grasp on what is going on right now at all, because y'all are losing and losing bad. And honestly, it kind of worries me, because like I said, I'm a little worried the pendulum's going to swing so far back right, and I don't really want that either. You know, the left needs to pull its head out so that we can end up in a good position and not, you know, swing too far back into the right stratosphere. And I'm not talking about Trump's presidency. I'm talking about the next, you know, 2 or 3 after that. I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
Lovely ladies right here. And then I'm going to be going on stage right now. Here we go. All right, now it's time for me to go on stage. Here we go. We got 100,000 people out here. And here we go.
Oh, Nick's actually going to be speaking.
USA! 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 USA!
Today I've walked with some of you here, and as I was walking, one sign really crossed my mind. There was a sign today that said, "We did not vote for open borders, digital ID, two-tier policing, higher taxes, loss of free speech, in politics, higher cost of living." Now your media will call you far right, and your Prime Minister will call you guys dangerous. But the ideas of freedom of speech are not dangerous, or the idea that you want to know who your neighbor is does not make you dangerous. It means that you have common sense. We live in a world where common sense is becoming somewhat abstract to have.
Boy, is that
a lot of people don't have it these days. In the United States, we let an entire state commit billions of dollars in fraud because we were afraid, our politicians were afraid of being called racist or Islamophobic for speaking out against the fraud. Here in the United Kingdom, you guys had young women be raped by gangs of men, and your politicians allowed it because they're afraid of being called a racist or Islamophobic.
Mm-hmm.
That does not make you a racist for speaking truth. No one should have to worry about where their tax dollars go. No one should have to worry if it gets spent into fraud or not, because we should have the confidence in our politicians. We shouldn't have to worry that our daughters are having to be careful who they go around, or a young woman in Scotland who is 12 years old shouldn't have to walk with a hatchet at the playground. I've been coming here to the United Kingdom for some time now, and each and every single year these marches get bigger and bigger and bigger. I think it is time that your Prime Minister and that your government takes heed to your words and takes heed to the caution that you guys are giving them, because change is inevitable here inside of the United Kingdom, and it does need to be done because everyone should have the right to say what they want and have the freedom of speech. And may God bless you all, and thank you, Tommy Robinson. Thank you. How did I do in my speech?
You were excellent.
Excellent. Approved?
Approved.
Perfect.
We need you and we need Trump in the UK.
That is the end of this video. Make sure you like and you subscribe to the channel. If you want to get yourself an anti-fraud taxpayer hoodie, go ahead and get yourself a hoodie.
Banger video by Nick once again. Hey, shout out to our channel supporters. Thank you to our channel supporters. Channel membership starting at just 99 cents. If you want to help support the channel completely for free, make sure you're liking, commenting, and subscribing. Top commenters for the month will get shout outs here along with donos and channel members. Thank you guys for the support, and make sure you're joining the channel if you want to get access to videos early and exclusive emojis. Thank you guys for supporting the channel, keeping us going. Love to hear your thoughts below in the comments. What do you think of what's going on in Britain, and are things going to change over there? Certainly seems like they're getting some momentum. But that's it for today, guys. Let's get back to work. Keep praying. I'll see you in the next one.